Hello there, my very good friends. On this wrestling news video, John Cena says his heel turn bombed.
We're going to tell you what WWE banned Naomi and Jade Cargill from doing.
WWE might be debuting on ESPN sooner than you think.
And did WWE stars refuse to take part in the Hulk Hogan tribute? I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the After News.
All right, let's talk about John Cena.
Yeah.
He has shown a bit of reflection, bit of admission, bit of other things that rhyme with shin, I guess. I used one. But yeah, he has been speaking at the Fan Expo Chicago. And he has basically admitted that it's at least his first promo as a heel bombed. He's called it a failure.
Oh.
Which is really I like it when people do this. I like it when people come out and go, this did not work. But that's
he turned full babyface.
Yeah, yes, he's gone full face. So we all know the real reason that the heel turn didn't work is because he got hair implants. That's the sign of a coward and poor moral fibre as well as poor follicle
Or
fibre.
arguably it's a good basis and then he ruined it with the promo.
Well, yeah, this is it. What angle do you want to take?
Should have acknowledged the hair stuff.
Yeah.
You bald bastards out there.
Yeah.
Not like me with my natural locks.
Yeah, my flowing Goldilocks Rapunzel stuff. Rapunzel got big hair?
She lets it down.
Is that her that puts it out the window? I can't relate to that nonsense. But yeah, he was speaking to the audience this past weekend. He said he wasn't upset with the initial reaction to that promo specifically, but he did say he failed. He said, I wasn't upset. No, I failed. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You can learn from failure. I went up there and I bombed. Happens. He continued a little bit and spoke about like not really taking failure personally and stuff like that. Noted that he was given a second chance by the company after his initial ruthless aggression gimmick didn't quite take off. He said, I've changed a lot over the years. I'm not the same person as I was yesterday. So he later said that he wasn't going to voice an opinion on his whole heel run just yet. He said he's going to wait until after he's retired to do that because he doesn't want to spoil things for fans. Also, yeah, it makes a lot of sense for him to be done with it before he kind of reflects on it as a whole. Yeah. But I think it's very refreshing to hear people come out and go, this didn't work.
Yeah.
It's quite a common wrestling thing is to just go, no, it was amazing, and blah, 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 and all of this stuff. But look, if the guy participating in it didn't think it worked, it's an interesting perspective. It shows a lot of maturity. I mean, he's in his late 40s. You'd hope he'd have a bit of maturity. But it does show that, and it shows that he's not just this guy who's like walled in, and he thinks everything he does smells like roses.
Yes, I think it's nice to hear something like that, like you say, because so often people are like, no, I think you're just stupid and misunderstanding why this is a sensational work. It is weird. I was just looking there, and I was like, God, WrestleMania was only 4 months ago, and yet the whole John Cena heel turn and subsequent title win and title defenses outside of a really great match with Cody Rhodes, obviously. And I still quite enjoyed the CM Punk thing, but I understand why people might not have got along with that. It feels a long time ago now. It already feels like, you're going to sit there in a few years and go, how did Cody first lose his world title? Oh, yeah. Heel John Cena. Yeah. It's one of those things, and we've sort of debated about it a lot in the office, especially because we're in the list game of how many things in wrestling are people like, oh God, what if this happened? I'd love to see this happen. And then it happens, and maybe there's so much pressure on it and so much expectation, it can never really live up to it. I don't think that's the only reason. I don't think they did some great work, but people were so critical of it all. But I just don't think, I think it's a couple of things. It's not just that he's an older guy and cannot work to the level that he could do a few years ago.
The last Cody match rocked.
Because he had that amazing match with him at SummerSlam. It's not just that. I don't think it helps that you were going into Mania going, well, you're going to have to do some sort of shenanigans to stand with Cody if you're beating him, I mean.
Sure.
But then also, and they tried a variety of different things with this John Cena
none of them were good
promos. And I think initially we all, we heard that noise. The turn at Elimination Chamber is still one of the moments of the year, decade, arguably.
It was great, yeah.
But him just coming out and sort of being like, I'm in an abusive relationship and blah, blah,
I'm going to ruin... he cut an each and every one of you people promo, and it's like, that's what Vince McMahon would have written for him. I think the problem was entirely creative, right? So, I was a big critic of his work in the ring, and I said he was finished, which was, I had to put my hands up and after SummerSlam and go, hey, I'm wrong on that, because he was great at SummerSlam. He's fantastic. But I think the creative's the fault, and I think that people are letting the creative off the hook a little bit here, because the narrative was just all wrong from the beginning. I'm going to ruin wrestling. I'm in an abusive relationship. I'm changing nothing about my character. It's just so.
But I've also done this for some reason for The Rock.
Yeah, it's so.
Will never be mentioned again.
The Rock, who, what was it The Rock said? Nick Khan said they were struggling for tickets, so he called me or whatever. So I think the creative of this was all wrong, because the initial turn, people were here for it. It was
Absolutely.
Awesome. It was an incredible angle.
That broke the internet.
Best WWE moment of the year, maybe one of the best of the decade, really. It was great. And then the follow-up was just so meek. It was each and every one of you people, and then blah, blah, blah. What the story should have been, and it should have been really simple. It should have been, I'm John Cena. I am Super Cena. I'm the man. You cannot beat me. I go over all your favorites. I bury all your favorites. I'm the man. There's nothing you can do about it. Now I'm leaning into this. You all suck. You little babies are going to cry when I beat your little favorites. It should have been the persona he portrayed in that CM Punk promo when CM Punk was on the Slim Jim table. Mm-hmm. The persona in that promo was excellent. That should have been the basis for the whole heel run.
I agree.
I think that if they did that, in my opinion, I'm not saying it would have worked because I'm not the oracle, but I think it would have been a lot better.
I agree. I think you're spot on there. Like I said, I enjoyed the Punk feud. I know some people didn't like the Cena pipe bam. I did, and like you say, it's for that reason. I thought it was the best version of this character as a heel. But look, I'm glad that they've. And John in particular sort of has seemingly acknowledged that on the road to SummerSlam and went, let's just do a pure babyface sort of babyface match with loads of kickouts in at SummerSlam. And, it feels like a relatively, not easy, because I think, people will still be exacting their criticism in ring for him, but the sort of home straight for John Cena's character. You got Brock on the horizon, by all reports, in September. Mm-hmm. I really like the Logan Paul aspect of his next match in Clash in Paris. He's going to Dublin, I believe, this week, which will be great to see the reaction he gets there. He's sort of ticking off some of the big cities on his home run. I would not be surprised if he goes, now he's a babyface, I'll do a few more dates.
Maybe.
And towards the end of the year. But I think it should be a really fun sort of celebration of... however you feel about him, a phenomenal career.
Yeah. And it's just a shame that we finally got the heel turn, and the heel turn is going to be like a footnote in Jimmy Fallon interviews he has in 5 years, right? It's a shame, but it didn't work. And now he's a face.
It is a bit like, it's a weird comparison to make, but it's been on my mind recently. I watched a video about it. It is going to be a bit like John Cena, hero of the people, all these amazing world title wins and moments and what have you, and Make-A-Wish, and then this heel turn. It is a bit like Rikishi, one of the best guys in Too Cool, and he loved fun, he loved to dance and wiggle his ass and shove it in people's face, and he tried to kill someone with a car. And he loved to wiggle his bum, guys.
Yeah, he loves to have fun.
Just be like, do you remember that time that he tried to kill someone?
Yeah.
For Triple H, obviously. It was all for Triple H.
No, it was for The Rock.
Well, yes, technically. It was for The Rock. Also, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, nonsense.
Do you know what would have made the John Cena character as a heel a lot better?
Rikishi?
Macing members of the audience in their face, which almost happened, ladies and gentlemen. A really interesting interview with Jade Cargill has come out as she's promoting Clash in Paris, and the tour of Europe. And yes, Jade Cargill, chatting to the UK's Metro newspaper, revealed that WWE banned them from doing certain things in their no-holds-barred match, the big culmination of that feud at Evolution with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. Jade saying there was so much that we wanted to use that we asked. We wanted to use mace. That was going to be tough. We wanted to use razors. What? That was going to be tough, but I welcome it. I wish we were able to use the mace, but we've got to think about the crowd. Yeah. We don't want anybody in the crowd to be maced because mace goes far. That would have been wild. The whole first front row would have been lit up with mace. It is a bit. I watched Dodgeball over the weekend, and there's a scene in it where someone just beans a dodgeball, someone ducks, and a fan just gets nailed in the face. And it is a bit like, oh, what a take-home treat for that fan right there. How was the show, dear? I didn't see the rest of it because I got maced.
Jade Cargill maced me in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit risky. The episode of The Office, which is a documentary, as we all know, where Dwight Mace's what's his name? Roy.
Oh yes.
As he's coming for Jim, and but everyone in the room is like crying because it's like it gets everywhere. Yeah, it's probably for the best that wasn't allowed, just in case.
Yeah, I think there are spots in wrestling where stuff happens. I remember there was all that furor about like Darby Allin going through a big glass. Was it a glass table or just a big sheet of glass?
Sheet, yeah.
And these sort of things sort of shower everywhere, which is dangerous.
Yeah.
But like mace is a spray that goes in the air.
It projects.
You cannot just be like, a fireball, for example, it can be quite self-contained and what have you. But mace, imagine just,
yeah. Imagine you're the lady who got knocked over by Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Nick Khan's like, hey, sit front row at Evolution.
Yeah, I've got to make good for you.
Yeah. She'd be a millionaire coming out of that if she isn't already. Yeah, but razors is demented as well.
I get it, the razor blade stuff. It looked cool, but you either make it look incredibly fake because they're all really gimmicked, or slice each other to pieces.
This is it. Is she talking about like blading, or is she talking about going at each other with shivs or something? It sounds unhinged. What's going on? Did Jade and Naomi want to do a death match?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? What are we doing here? Crazy.
What a souvenir for the fans.
Look, if they want to do a death match, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Just sod it. Why not? But this sounds unhinged for a PG show.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I always like to hear people at least pitch and stuff. It shows that they're creative. And fair enough at the end of the day for them being like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. What if instead of mace they were talking about like an actual mace, like a medieval mace?
I thought you were going to talk about one half of Maximum Male Models. Marseille, as they are now known.
He's even more dangerous.
Oh, he is. Especially in interviews I've seen.
And the weapons, yeah.
Check out the Miller interview if you haven't seen it. It's incredible.
You should watch that. It's the best video on YouTube. You should if you haven't seen that, what are you doing?
Do you remember when Phil came back from that interview in Vegas and we were like, oh, how's you been? Oh, we've been to see this show. How's your day been so far? And he went, it's the greatest interview we've ever done.
You got to check it out and you will understand why Mace and Mansoor are the most dangerous force.
I love them so much.
In sports and entertainment and wrestling. Probably MMA as well.
Yeah.
They'd probably
Fashion, without question.
Probably win all the matches.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk about WrestlePalooza.
Whoa!
WrestlePalooza. So, WWE is seemingly bringing back an old ECW show. This is for September the 20th. WrestleVotes tweeted to that effect yesterday, saying on September 20th, it's a WrestlePalooza. So WrestleVotes usually very on the money with WWE reports, so they might even announce it on Raw tonight. Keep your eyes open for that. But it's a show that ECW ran in 95, 97, 98, and 2000, so it's one they ran a lot. WWE has used lots of ECW properties over the years, Heatwave, a bunch of other things down in NXT specifically, but this would be pretty prominent for the main roster. PW Insider have an interesting report of this. They know that this show, the 20th of September, is in Indianapolis, home of the Pacers.
Go Colts.
I think they played each other once. It was like
crossover sport.
Yeah,
Pacers versus the Colts.
They played ice hockey together. It was great. It was awesome.
Did that in One FC. They had an MMA fight and then a kickboxing fight, like a round each.
That's weird.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was Mighty Mouse that was in it, and basically he was like, well, I have to just survive the first round, effectively.
Yeah. And then I'll MMA this guy.
I
will
Mighty
wrestle
Mouse.
him and take him down.
Yeah.
But PW Insider here are noting that this might end up being an extra event that ends up on ESPN. So this ESPN deal for WWE PLEs was agreed the other week, to where it's semi-controversial in that some people, not everyone, but some people, depending on their cable provider, are going to have to pay $29.99 a month for a sub. Okay. Some people are getting it for free, so it's caused a bit of like extra expense for some people, but not everyone. However, it's bloody ESPN. It's
should have got the NordVPN deal we were offering. Then you can just watch it on UK Netflix. Easy.
Nord ESPN, get it done. But ESPN's accessibility will be insane because it means like on ESPN's like news shows and stuff, there'll be lots of WWE things all over it, things like that. So it's going to be a really great deal for WWE. It's going to boost them immensely. But the deal wasn't supposed to kick in until April 2026. However, this could be something a little extra. So they did say after this was cut, I believe the big boss was like, hey, I can just phone up Nick Cannon and say I want a show. So maybe that's this.
Yeah.
There's an AEW pay-per-view that weekend as well. So, there's
good stuff in it.
It's what they do, they're just like this. They're just like this.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I think I saw WrestleVotes over the weekend kind of shooting down because there was loads of speculation and theories as to like, is it going to be Bad Blood? Is it going to be No Way Out? All Out versus No Way Out?
Favourite pay-per-view, Bad Blood.
Of course.
After that monumental appearance last year.
But yeah, WrestlePalooza. I'll be honest, I was 11 when they did the last ECW show of that. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised, like you say, with all the properties that they've utilised from ECW's past previously. And that September 20th weekend sure looks packed, doesn't it?
It's going to be a WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis.
Yes.
There you
go. Looking forward to that. Finally, a bit of a rumour killer basically doing the rounds. There's been a bit of speculation around this with regards to the Hulk Hogan tributes that we saw a few weeks back after the legend passed away. Controversial legend, let's say, that passed away. But yeah, Fightful, I'm probably sick of answering these sort of questions, in a brief news update on their Patreon, writing that we're told that the report going around that a number of stars refused to take the stage for Hulk Hogan's 10-bell salute is total BS. In the case of a number of wrestlers, you might have seen some speculation over the weekend and certain names doing the rounds of like, well, they weren't there because they refused to be there.
Yeah.
Talent weren't required to be on stage, and there is seemingly no justification for these reports that people have flat out refused to go out there.
We won't say the name of the person who reported it initially, because they clearly just made it up for attention.
Yep.
But if you know that person, you understand that they have a history of doing so. They said names like Rhea Ripley was one of them and a bunch of other ones. I will say this, without naming the person, a very funny story about this person. When we were in Cardiff for
Clash at the Castle.
Was it 2022?
2020, yeah. I wasn't there, of course.
This might be new to you. I don't know. In the building, we did a live show in a bar.
Yeah.
In Cardiff, we did one in Newport the night before, which was awesome too. But next door to us, there was a big signing thing. It was Bret Hart. He was doing some signings next door to us, same block. Huge queue around the block. First of all, I was like, "Is that for us?" And I was like, "Of course not. Bret Hart's there. It's whatever." Bret Hart's doing the signing. It's packed. It's like all snaking around. It's huge. Cardiff loves Bret Hart, and there was like 50, 60,000 wrestling fans in town, so it was packed out. We had our little table at the bar before our show. One of the staff from there went, there's a guy next door kicking up a real fuss. He's got a little kid and he's trying to force his way to the front of the Bret Hart queue. Yeah. He's saying he's trying to use his kid as like a bargaining chip, and he's saying he's media. And I was like, what happened? What happened? They threw him out. He stood there making a scene. He was shouting. He was swearing. He was making a kerfuffle. They threw him out. And I said, was it this person's name? And they went, that's the one. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Sean Ross Sapp knows this story.
Indeed.
A few other people do as well. But there you go. Made up nonsense from someone we probably shouldn't have even given this level of attention.
Exactly. But it is good to sort of clarify these sorts of things and say, that's absolutely ridiculous. The only thing that was refused apparently was Tommaso Ciampa wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you want to know what's going on with Chris Jericho. We talked all about that in the morning news, Andy.
We did indeed. It's right here. Chris Jericho.
Bye.
Bye.